Dern and Liam Hemsworth star in the latest romance drama that's now out on Netflix, but is it worth your time? Welcome Cinema, where we focus on a film. I'm Josh, this is Simply Cinema. Let me know down in the comments below. Have you seen The Lonely Planet? Is it good? Is it bad? Or somewhere right in the middle? Or if you're waiting for this review to decide if you're going to see it or not, make sure to like this video if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you find it beneficial, or just don't if it's not your cup of tea, what you're getting out of this video as a whole. And getting right into the synopsis. An idyllic writer's retreat in Morocco, a newly single novelist meets up and finds unexpected connection with a younger man that is reevaluating his life's choices. And getting right into the positive, first off, I'm a big fan of romance film, romance dramas, or comedies. This is a romance drama. I enjoy Liam Hemsworth, what his work is all about, and Laura Dern. I don't often see them in their acting careers, but being able to see them with this romance drama, it's relatively simple, manages to hold on its ground, and as a novelist myself, other dimension, I did connect with some of the soft spots where they're talking about the writers being based on a writer's retreat. They don't go too hard with some of the story elements or some of the story beats, but that's what can keep it simple, managing to be clear-cut, tell its message, do a little bit of deviant work with keeping you captivated by the ideas, building upon the romance and the development of the characters. There's certain things where you're not necessarily following too many characters. There are side characters that are part of the writer's retreat that give their own remarks, make their own little characters, but aren't necessarily meant to make the impact that you need from them, because the main focus is on this one writer that's the older woman played by Laura Dern. She does well, and then Liam Hemsworth does well as the fact that he's dating this other girl and trying to figure out how to manage his priorities in life, reevaluating his life choices, figuring out if she's the right girl for him, and just the way that all plays out because he's a financial guy and his girl is a writer. What that all goes into the conflict of the story does manage to have these small little problems about the way, and there are some emotional scenes that does get you connected to understanding the chemistry of these people, and so how they get connected together. The relationships on screen play well enough for what you're really expecting out of a simple romance drama that you could find. And getting right into the mixed elements, this is rather generic. You have seen many of the story beats before. If you've seen quite a bit or any romance dramas at all, and so it's something where if you're not into the romance drama or rom-coms or in general, you may not connect with it, you may not find anything new out of it. If you do generally vibe with it like I do, if you watch them no matter what, then there's something to get out of this, but there is something about it that makes it more of a one-time watch. You're not necessarily going to be thinking about it. It doesn't hit that hard on all of its marks. It's not particularly bad just because it feels relatively generic, follows some of the same romance tropes that we've seen in other movies, but for those that just don't watch a whole lot of movies, there could be something out there that's much better following along the romance drama line of things. And this could be a controversial movie also, just for the substance that it's based on this older woman and this younger man having a relationship later in life. There's not really anything sexual or prevalent within this movie that's right in your face or too uncomfortable if you're totally against it, but it is something to look out for if you aren't comfortable at all seeing that sort of dynamic or relationship play out on screen that Laura Dern and Liam Hemsworth play their roles for. Which takes me right into the negatives, to which I expected some aspects of the film to be generic, the tropes that aren't particularly the holdups of the film, what takes away my enjoyment, but for the story beats as a whole, there's some aspects of the story, different subplots, certain things, certain ideas that just don't get as developed as I feel like should. there's certain scenes, even with Liam Hemsworth and Laura Dern, where they're starting to go into this really touchy-feely, emotional scene, and then it cuts on to the next scene, or even on the editing, it feels like it cuts off a little bit short, and it does take risk on what it's doing, while not necessarily being the most risky of what you're doing with the ending. It's not the most shocking of how you're getting the expectation, getting captivated by being at least intrigued to follow it through the end. But there's still certain aspects where certain scenes are cut off too short, certain ideas feel underdeveloped, or the way you build on the relationship of Liam Hemsworth and his past relationship, what they're getting on with that, you're sort of thrown into the action and have to assume and learn about some of their relationship later on, what happened before the movie began. And so there's a lot of reading between the lines, reading upon the assumptions that we don't necessarily getting the red flags of Liam Hemsworth, the character he plays, and the relationship he gets into with what he had as his present girlfriend. And so just how that all plays out, certain things that you just have to be told by what is spilled out on the dialogue, what's shown on screen. There's certain things that aren't a huge takeaway from your enjoyment of the film, but they don't have necessarily the right story beats that really gets you into the groove of just being able to watch it clear cut, understand every single thing. And well, it's not a hard or confusing film to be watching because it is a relatively familiar romance drama. You understand the story beats, but there's certain story beats that also just miss their mark because of the way they're trying to develop the stories, trying to develop the characters without having something promising or prominent to say about these characters, or developing these relationships to be much more than they really are on the base level that they are on screen. So that's just my personal review for Lonely Planet, which I have to rate a simply 5.5 out of 10. Did you see Lonely Planet? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Or is it somewhere right in the middle? Make sure to like this video if you enjoy it. Subscribe if you haven't already to join in the film culture community where we talk about the love of cinema as a whole. So that's just all, and make sure to do yourself a favor and go watch a movie.